Alright, welcome back to Lenz's comic, or the classic, lesser known classics. This is episode number 3261, double shot number 3155. I have an IDW, I have basically a Dark Horse, a trade that's technically published by Dark Horse, but it's from Handicap Comics, basically, and, I picked these two together because currently, there's a crossover between these two publishing right now. Yes, I was kind of surprised they decided to do this, but they did. We have Usagi Yojimbo Volume 2 Samurai. Yep, of course, written by Sakai. It's been a while since I've done a physical one of these ones. Yes. I should point out, though, there is not many of these left to cover. If you're really curious, let's see, there is, I think 3 that are covered already, so I think I have, 4. I think I have 8 more to go for this. Yeah, about 8 more. But I do have Origins on the way for this one. Yes, Origins. Now this book contains the first 6 issues of the Fantagraphics run for Usagi Yojimbo. Of course, written by Stan Sakai and does arc 2. Stories here are Samurai, Kappa, still in sick fair. And like I said, it collects the first 6 issues of the series. Samurai, of course, is basically Usagi meeting up with an acquaintance of his, and we see a flashback also when he meets up with Gin, a character. Of course, this is of course before his nose, his horn chopped off. So. And mostly put this whole story here is a flashback to Usagi is training with Kazuchi, I think his name is, who in the Space Usagi book, he's actually the Lord. Yeah, he's Usagi's boss, and his son is basically the heir, who becomes the new Lord of the whole thing. And the whole thing with the Samurai arc, it is basically his time training with him. And eventually he basically graduates and gets his own swords. I think one of whom actually he still has. And of course he's telling the story to Gin, which I found to be really cool. He does bring an acquaintance of his who apparently was sort of dishonored thanks to his losing his match, but he was able to take care of him no problem. And the Samurai story, that takes up about six parts here. So this whole Samurai thing lasts for quite a while. If you want to know how many parts this is quite lengthy. I think it's 10 parts. And we also see a flashback to while the Samurai not only in training, but also when he was actually traveling with his former lord, which he still wears the crest. Yep. And that's it for that one. Kappa is, simply put, basically Usagi traveling by himself. But he encounters a Kappa. Who is basically just here just to collect a toll. Yeah. After he deals with Kappa, this story was, of course, really quick. Unlike Samurai, which this was basically, guess how many pages was? Samurai was 92 pages. Kappa was 12. Zayala is 12 pages, and then basically we have other stuff. So Zayala, it is mostly put about woodcutter. It's basically mostly put a standalone story. You have Usagi just bathing by himself, minding his own business. And Zilla is, it's Stan Sakai's version of Zilla from the Godzilla movies. Yeah. You could kind of say it's Zilla appearing in a Usagi book. And that's kind of what this thing is here. It's a really quick thing here. And then we have Silk Fair. Usagi just hangs out this place here for this story here. And that's it. Overall, really good stuff here with Usagi. I give this book a 10 out of 10. Next up we have is Mighty Morphin Power Rangers Unlimited Power Book 2. This book collects issue 712 of both Mighty Morphin and Power Rangers. Written by Ryan Parrott. Artwork here by... Well, we do have one issue here done by Rachel Wagner, set up 20 of the story, with Mark Arena, Francisco Martina on the artwork, with assistance by Yabira Dan Moria, who does Chapter 19, and Moses Loco. Mostly put, we have a flashback in here of how 1,000 years. Well, the big thing with these early issues, we get a chance to see Boom Studios' backstory for Lord Zed, how he got the way he is here. Let's see. There's also where the Green Rangers working with Goldar, and eventually we do with the Lorians, which basically is, at one point Zordon contacts Zed, because of course in the Boom Studios continuity, Zed and Zordon talk to each other for some reason, despite they can see those be enemies. Excuse me. And for some reason, Grace is working with Goldar, but they get free from that. And sadly, put during the course of the story, one of the Morph Masters get killed off here. And by the way, we still also have the Mega Rangers here, which are basically Jason, Trini, and Zach plus a few other Rangers. The Mighty Morphin team is comprised of Jace is the White Ranger, Rocky is the Red Ranger, Billy is still blue. I believe at this point we still have Kimberly is pink. I think it's Aisha is yellow, and Adam is black. But yeah, really good stuff here. This is an excellent book. Looking forward to my hands on book 1 for this thing, because of course Elohim War is next. Yeah, and also for some reason that the books themselves were... It's like they were connected, per se. Yeah, and also Green Ranger is actually somebody who knows Kimberly. Also Dragon returns, who gets his power back, and the Rangers have to reluctantly work with him because Grace, who's supposed to be their ally, works for Goldar. Yes. By the way, Rita is not here in this book. Nope, not here. But overall, fantastic book. Give it a 10 out of 10. I didn't know this book even existed until I look up on a website looking for. Yeah, but good stuff here. So that's pretty much it for particular video. Please be sure to like, comment, subscribe to notifications. Next up, back to Aminoble, Wimbledon Ruin. So I try Master Magic. Okay, thanks you. Bye.